All right, we're taking it back a little bit today with Dimmuborgir's Gateways Live. This is Pardon My Reaction.
What's up, everybody? Here we are with a an oldie. Is it an oldie?
Been around for a minute, man.
Okay.
Yep.
Dimmuborgir. I think that's how you say it, right?
I just say Dimmuborgir, but
Okay.
I'm sure
Gateways Live, Forces of the Northern Light.
Night.
Oh, sorry.
I said the same thing when I read it first. Because the Northern Lights, that's what you think about.
Yeah, that's what it popped in my head.
I wanted to do this because I don't know that you've seen this.
No.
And we have recently started looking more at European bands or just foreign metal because it's such a huge market. I mean, it's a huge market.
There's a lot of them.
And this was, for me, this was a band that I actually got into years and years ago. Pretty into it. I mean, I went to see them live. They put on an amazing show. My daughter, for a while, this was like her jam, bro, which is weird, but this was really her song. They put on a rad show, and they were doing like the symphony stuff.
Okay.
Before, you know, like all these newer bands, you know, Architects and Bring Me the Horizon, all these guys started using them as well.
Yeah.
Not saying that they were the first, but it's definitely like, it's an interesting band. They do the makeup. They have the whole, you know, persona that they're showing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the symphony adds in an element of kind of just like triumphant, you
I
know.
wonder, obviously, I wonder if they're in the UK or something somewhere. Because this stadium, whatever they're in, is interesting. The seating's weird.
Yeah, I actually don't know where this is at. And please feel free to comment on the details because even though I listened to them and I've heard this before and I've seen this before, I don't know all the details. So feel free to chime in on that one. I just want to see what your take is. This is more of like a, man, you know, there's so many subgenres. I hate to even try to figure out like what it is. But to me, this is more of like it's a little darker, a little cooler. Just the makeup kind of screams like black metal more, but I know that's not at all what the genre is because black metal is very specific. But
yeah.
Anyways, let's get this thing rolling, man. Dimmuborgir Gateways. There is a woman that sings on this track, and I do not know her name off the top of my head, but she's a guest on this track.
Oh, okay.
And you will hear her as well. So,
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, man.
Spektrum. Klare for en symfonisk metal-aften med Dimmuborgir I kveld?
I heard him say metal.
Yeah, it's cool. They have the symphony behind the.
Yeah.
Da kan dere kanskje gjette hvem vi har med oss I kveld. Ingen andre enn Agnete Fjadjerv.
I took Greg to this show.
Oh, really?
He didn't like it that much.
Oh.
I loved it. To be fair, there wasn't a symphony at our show, though.
Having the symphony and like choirs and stuff live there, like even when like Bring Me the Horizon did it, it adds such an element to it that it's like,
It does. Especially depending on what kind of music it is.
yeah. How many guitars they got up there?
No idea. You hear the darkness in its voice, so it's definitely a certain style there.
Yeah.
It's just a show, bro. Right?
Man, she She had an interesting voice.
Yes, she did.
I dig his little mummy guitar. It's like wrapped up on the end there. That's kind of cool.
That's tough, dude. That big bell. Okay, hold on 1 second. One thing I noticed with this, and it's good for us because we're American, but a lot of these bands sing in English.
Yeah, they do.
And obviously there's a lot of bands that don't, and they're just as great because, like, you know, for us at least, we can look at those bands and we can say, like, I can, like Rammstein, for example, right?
Yeah.
Mostly German. I don't really care that I don't understand everything he's saying. It gives me something to look up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and I don't really care most of the time. I like with Rammstein that like the way he sings and the way they sound overcomes any kind of language barrier.
Absolutely.
So I love the melody in which he's singing in and the music.
Yep.
So the words I can go find out later.
Yeah, I'm curious as if you were from the country that this band came from, Dimmuborgir, or any of them for that matter. Like, is it frustrating that the bands that are coming from your country are not singing in your native tongue, if you will? Or do you, because I know in a lot of countries, English is a second language, and a lot of English speakers. But it's weird to me that, like, it's not their their go-to. Like, they don't have just a couple English songs. A lot of these, like, big bands especially are English speaking.
Yeah.
And is that a move to, like, make sure that it propels them into the American market more? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it could be. I could be wrong, and like maybe English is more of just a commonality. That they could just a bigger fan base in general. Like you could more people of different areas of the world could listen to it and understand.
Yeah, it's something I would love to hear from somebody who lives there. Like, is it annoying that a local band or a band from your area doesn't sing in, you know, whatever language it should be saying? Because I know there are some that do, but like he was speaking before the show and you couldn't understand him. But then, like, during his songs, he's speaking English.
Yeah. It would be weird like if there was an American band and they would sing in a different language.
Right.
That would be weird for us.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you just singing in English?
Right. Like you feel like that would actually hurt them in the American market if they, you know, sang in Japanese, you know, or something, for example.
Yeah, probably.
So it's weird. It's a weird one. I've always wondered that. Maybe you could comment. Let us know if you guys if that's just the norm or if they just look at it as a bigger move.
I think the English itself, regardless of where you are in the world, is just a bigger market.
Maybe.
I feel like.
Yeah, maybe. But super sick, though, dude. Like, the symphony, like, this is very triumphant.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Star Wars on crack. You know what I'm saying? They actually, I found this album right out of high school, like one of their albums. And they put out a second disc that was all symphony, right? It was their music done by a symphony.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the most epic thing. I remember loving that album, just the symphony part of it, as much as the regular one, because I was like, dude, this is... The fact that they created music that a symphony can recreate and make it this triumphant says a lot about their writing style. So, yeah, interesting.
Evolution and sin, leading the way. The rebirth is near completion as we slowly awaken from slumber to receive the light that shines in darkness, the light that shines forevermore, forevermore.
That's
He's got a powerful voice, bro. It's a big little crowd.
It's crazy how it just goes up.
It's pretty dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. This is a huge show, dude. It's a huge show.
Huge show.
That's a one thing. Sorry, bud. That's a one thing that's like European metal or just foreign metal still do that I wish America would do.
What's that?
Put on shows.
Oh.
Because I feel like there are certain bands that you could look back on and they just had such grandiose shows. And I feel like that's such a part of like the experience of going to a concert is, and it's fine, dude. Like, you know, sometimes you go to a show, they have a backdrop, they go out there and they kill it, and it's great. It's fun, dude.
That's what most of them are here.
A lot of them. But, you know, then you have bands that like go above and beyond and put on a performance on top of the fact that they're live. They spend a little extra time on their sets, making them like fit the whole kind of feel that they're going for.
Yeah.
And that showmanship, I feel like, is lacking. And it kind of died in the grunge era for America because all these bands were like, we're just teenagers in old shitty clothes and we're just going on stage. And like, you look at like 80s metal, there was a lot more showmanship to like Motley Crue, for example.
Oh, yeah. Like the glam represented itself in the stage presence also. Like just the way the whole show was presented.
Well, there was the sound and then there was the image.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that image was very grandiose, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it kind of went away when Nirvana came in the picture or any of the grunge era. It just, you kind of lost that whole thing. It was just like normal people on stage. But then you had Rob Zombies and Marilyn Manson's and, you know, even Pantera and those guys, like, they had these huge sets and these great shows, and these guys are still doing this stuff. It feels like you're in like 1847 fucking, you know what I mean?
Well, and I think the venues play a big part in that too. I think just over there, the architecture and the buildings are so much older than they are here.
Yeah.
Like the venues in which they play have a whole different feel, and you're able to do a lot more with that.
But it's like the look. I mean, look at like Dimmuborgir and this as a band, the way that they present themselves. There is like a cohesive image.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you don't get that cohesive image with modern bands. It's just like trendy. You know, like they're wearing like the jean jackets and the, you know, they got the faux hawks and you know, and I just like, I actually like getting sucked into the whole thing, not just the music, but like you believe that their image represents their music, and it does. So I mean,
style differences.
It is. I mean, I like showmanship, man.
Yeah,
I like showmanship, and I that's maybe why I'm attracted to this kind of stuff, is because it is bigger than just the music.
Yeah. As far as this song, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really care for his voice.
I get you.
I like everything else. I like the music. I like the way they have the symphony and the choirs and all this stuff. I couldn't get into his voice.
And I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're huge. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying they are more gothic style. I don't even know if that's the right statement, but it's a little bit more like dooms of the, you know, that kind of a whatever thing. And some people, it's not like the triumphant shit. Like
no, that's not a dig. Yeah. It's just a preference.
Yeah. For me, it's, I mean, I get that too. I'm just so attracted to the band's music and how epic the music is that I can overlook a little bit of that. But as a whole, I dig these guys, man. Especially as a live show.
Yeah, no, 100%. Being there for a live show would be awesome.
Yeah. So Dimmuborgir Gateways, live Forces of the Northern Nights. It's an old one that I knew, but Chris did not.
I did not.
And we want more suggestions, guys. I mean, this is a pretty big band, but if there's bands that we may not know about, like, put them in the comments. We want to find more.
Yeah.
So if you guys like what we do, though, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell because that's very important.
Yes,
So
sir.
you can catch all of our videos. And Chris, what do you do if you want to donate?
Yeah, if you want to donate, we got that Cash App link down there in the description. Because everything we do here, all the money we make or that comes from these videos goes to the artists like it should.
Yep.
And if you want to help us out, that's where you do it. Or you can go to Patreon for $2 a month and request whatever videos you want, and we do them.
We do the requests. Absolutely. So thank you guys. Dimmuborgir Gateways. It was a banger.